You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about the war between compassion and emotional. I'm gonna make it simple for you. When I'm thinking about compassion, it equals good. When I'm thinking about emotional, equal bad. Now I'm doing a really large oversimplification of that just to kind of help us dig into this a little bit more. When I'm thinking about compassion, I'm thinking about empathy for others, sympathy. Yeah, having a lot of that may, and just hear me out on this now, it may lead to a situation where you get the short end of the stick up on. But the thing about compassion is, if you're giving somebody compassion and either it's not reciprocated or you're done dirty, you take it as lesson noted, walk away. But when I'm thinking about emotional, that's the reason why I wanted to separate these two. So we have a distinct, clear meaning between the two. When I'm thinking about emotional, I'm normally thinking about being hurt, angry. What other? Because of course, like anything, it's always a good and a bad. Yeah, you can be happy, emotional, but that's not going to come into play for the point of this video and what we're talking about. Happy shouldn't go getting you into anything unless you're going overboard and being happily doing something and you're doing something that leads to reckless behavior. But for the most part, we're talking about emotional with being hurt, angry, and we can equal that to bad. So, like I said, I'm thinking about empathy or compassion being good, relatively good, and emotional being bad. Not to say that you remove remote emotion totally up from yourself and just be apathetic. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about when it comes to instances where emotions go running high, take a step back. Let's see how we can think about this a little differently, or perhaps even turn, put whatever it is down to come back and deal with it when we have a little bit less emotion involved. Just be slow to anger, so we're not making mistakes. We're not really getting into anything that we can't come back from. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm talking about dealing with the emotions carefully. Thinking about what's putting us in our emotions. And like I said, with compassion, I'm thinking about it and having love for your fellow man, empathy, understanding. You can use both of those in conjunction with one another to really create something beautiful. Compassion and being slow to be emotional. So think about that war between those two, because I think that's something that we all could straddle the fence on. And on one hand, you might have a person that really shows no compassion, lack of empathy for everything, yet highly emotional. That could really be to the detriment of them and those that are surrounded or those that are around them. And then when I think about emotional, you could be highly emotional. I guess what I was getting ready to say was the same thing. I think you get the point. Just think about, defining these two, seeing how they apply to us, how we can use them as strengths, make us stronger. And like I said in older videos, whatever you're not strong in and you find yourself to be weak to, susceptible to fall prey to, at least you know what it is, so you don't continually fall prey to it. You put it on the side, work on it. No, hey, look, this may be a trigger for me. Let me not just get wrapped all up into this emotion, because this is something I'm still working on. And I think when you're dealing with that emotion like that, say for instance, with it being emotion that you're working with or working on, you're gonna think of healthier, creative ways to deal with those emotions, and in a way, set up boundaries so you're not running into that emotional territory, seeing why things are making you so up in arms. Get what I'm saying? I think you get what I'm saying. So that's what I'm thinking about, the war between compassion and emotional. Stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. I'm Ayin. Y'all have a good one.